welcome to the Bromance on Deck podcast with JB and King D.
Welcome back to another episode of Bromance on Deck. It is me, JB,
King D,
and LB.
We are back with episode 6. We're going to keep hitting y'all head with these bangers. Today we have a very special listener email. Yeah, y'all ain't think we get a lot of these, but we got a few of them. So, I will read this letter. All right, you gentlemen ready for this hotness?
Sure.
All right. Dear Bromance Boys, I'm in a situation that I want to get a man's perspective on. I recently met a guy online and we hit it off well, but we found out that I had sex with his best friend 8 years ago. My God. And now he's ghosted me. I also would like to add that we had sex on the first night, plus we told each other we loved each other, and he also met my family. What now? Lord have mercy.
That's kind of intense. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first email. Jesus.
Hardcore, ain't it?
Yeah, we starting off with a banger.
Whew. More than a banger.
Okay, so from the man's perspective, I guess we'll go in the circle. King D, why don't you start us off? What are your thoughts about this situation?
So a situation like that, I would say a lot happened too quick on the first night.
That is way too fast.
Yeah. When you first dating somebody, especially the first date, you want to keep things kind of chill. Like maybe talk about what their likes and interests are. Talk about your friends, like what your friends would think of you. You know, kind of keep everything light.
I still
and
wouldn't
feathery.
even. That's still too much for me as far as.
Yeah, you want the first date to be like no pressure.
I'm trying to impress. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm trying to get some cheeks.
But see, getting cheeks on the first date can end up being disastrous later because the relationship, if it leads to a relationship, it'll be built on sex.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for some people, that works. But
that actually worked for me.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in those situations.
My previous relationship, we had sex the first night. And it turned into a baby. And a good 5 years.
Man.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, like on your first couple of dates, you want to carry condoms. In case something does go there, but don't expect it. You know
when you expect it, that's when the worst happens.
Yeah.
So you basically feels like, basically your thing is like she didn't been in a situation to begin with because like she opened up too fast, right?
Yes, she shouldn't even known that. Well, she shouldn't even said nothing that, because if she did have sex with his friend, that's nobody's business. They just met,
Yeah.
Why drop that type of bombshell on somebody?
I mean, do you want a relationship built on lies? If it's gonna be like an honest relationship, you want to at least tell the truth to this person. If you can't tell the truth to this person, how are y'all supposed to what if this comes up 10 years down the line? That would have been worse.
I mean, it's not like she told a lie. They just so happened to be on Facebook, and they seen that they had a mutual friend. And then the question was asked, like, hey, how do you know that person?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you think she was right by being honest?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, she was definitely right by that.
You wouldn't say anything?
I would say I know this person, but I wouldn't go into detail. We had sex.
Next thing you know, that's like his cousin.
Yeah, that's my father. Something like that. And they also told each other that they love each other.
Man.
So do you think they really love each other? Or it's just
No, it's just endorphin. That's just probably just the endorphin because they fucked.
The endorphins.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Stuff like that, I think should wait until at least the second or third date. But
Before you tell people who you had sex with,
nah, before y'all
tell
have
each other
sex
y'all
and
love each
things
other.
like that. And telling each other that you love each other, that should. There's no right or wrong time, but not on the first and second
Because that's
date.
lust. That's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
they're in lust.
Yeah,
But I also met the family.
yeah,
Like, this is just all bad.
yeah.
I would not, yeah, it sounds like they rushed into it, but if that's like the speed they were going at, like, who am I to judge?
Okay, let's do devil's advocate. What if you're the guy and you found out that the girl that you really liked, you had sex with on the first night, had sex with your best friend? What would be your reaction? Any of you guys? Let's start off with you, King D.
My reaction to it, depending on how recent, like if it was years ago,
Mm,
I mean, everyone's in the same, area. So what's the odds? You know what I'm saying? Everybody's
yeah.
connected somehow. But if it was like, let's say, my past relationship or somebody I might have dated 2 years ago,
Mm.
then that's still kind of fresh. I might even be licking my wounds still from
Like,
it.
so what's the cutoff time for you?
I would say it would have to be something like, let's say, okay, if I was dating somebody and then, we're sitting there looking at Facebook, we see we got common friends, and then I see that she's friends with somebody who, I'm cool with,
Mm.
and she says, like, hey, I slept with that person. If it was somebody like in my early 20s or high school, then I probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't be petty about it. It is what it is. But if she was friends with, let's say, one of my homies who, I talk to on a regular basis and they just had sex, like,
A couple days ago?
yeah, then I feel some type of way. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I got another question. Would
No,
you...
should I answer first? Or my perspective, rather?
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I was just so...
You're so wrapped in.
So,
I have never been in this scenario, so I can't really like say how I would react. But it's like that seems well, not minor, but it's like if I really like this person, that shit wouldn't care.
it
Like,
wouldn't matter.
no, because it's like okay, that was then. This is now. Girl, we just told each other we loved each other on the first day. You met my family. Did you tell the other? Then you told him you loved him? No. Okay.
So you would think she actually loves you.
Well, I would say if we're like, oh, we're super in love, like at the moment, like I don't know. That just seems like why let a relationship like fail because of that? It's like she didn't cheat on you. Y'all had good chemistry. Everything. Y'all happy together. Y'all made each other's family, and it's like, in this scenario, that was like what that was like half a decade ago. That was a decade.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And that stuff is cool, but in my opinion, I definitely don't think that you should meet a person's family, friends
On day one.
on day one. I don't think you should have sex on day one. I don't think you should say I love you on day one.
You shouldn't be making eye contact.
Yeah,
That's just...
yeah. Like on the first date, like I said, you want it to be kind of light and feathery a little bit.
But we didn't get where this date was. This date was probably to the house.
I mean, even if it's to the house, on the first date, you want to sit there and ask questions about a person, like, what was your past? What are your ideas for stuff you want to do in the future?
You gotta ask, like, what they like to do for fun.
Yeah.
What movies you like, or what's your favorite foods.
Yeah, get to
Not,
know them.
here's my mom,
It sounds like they were trying to speed run to a relationship, like.
Yeah. They're trying to rush.
Yeah.
And nothing comes good out of a rushed relationship.
It doesn't. And I've learned from plenty of experiences with that.
Yeah.
None of it has ever turned out positive from rushing and, having, someone that I'm dating for the first couple of days meet the fam and stuff like that. It always turns out like, oh, she was a scrub. You know what I'm saying?
A scrub though.
I mean, yeah, and women probably be thinking that same stuff. Like most women, they're not gonna be quick to like bring a man home to their family. They still trying to fill them out. You know what I mean?
So vetting and whatnot.
Yeah.
For reference, I met my partner on the. Well, we were friends first. So
you were friends first. You didn't meet her that day, and then y'all had sex that same day.
Nah, it was like a slow thing.
See, slow.
Yeah.
You didn't meet her family. Y'all didn't tell each other y'all loved each other while getting nasty.
Fun fact: I said I loved you first, but I waited. But it took me. I waited like months before I said that.
See, months.
Yeah, a month is
not
like
12
day
hours.
One.
Yeah, no.
If I said when I said I love you, it was like as a joke, like
joke. But you were joking, but you were not joking.
This wasn't even like we were dating. It's like, wow, you just helped me with our homework. We were in college. I love you. Thank you.
Oh, so you didn't say it in that time.
Nah.
Well, here's my next question.
Sure.
Say you really like a person and you guys have sex and y'all in a relationship. Then you find out that she had sex with your best friend. Would you continue that relationship, or would you kind of like
break it off?
I
mean, I think it depends on how long ago it was. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
like
statute of limitations on the ass.
Like, let's say we've been in a relationship for 3 months, and you just had sex with my best friend or cousin or my next door neighbor, whatever. Let's say that was 5 months ago. I'm gonna feel some type of way, even if it was a year ago. If it's in the past, then nah, I wouldn't try.
Personally, I don't care how long it's been. It can be 40 years. You had sex with my friend, my best friend, and I feel like my best friend got something over me. Like, he can, just throw that out there. I fucked your girl. Yeah.
So
I hit it first. He might hit me with the Ray J. So, personally, I just can't. That's going to be in the back of my mind 24/7. That don't fly with me.
Yeah. You got some awful friends if you worried about that.
But that's why it's important to, talk about your friends and get to know the person in the first couple days.
Exactly.
Because then that type of stuff will come up versus later.
That'll be.
Oh, yeah. So did you go through Facebook? Did you sleep with this person? Did you sleep with this person? Just,
That's not how you ask. If it comes up, say it doesn't come up. I'd rather not know, than...
You rather be lied to, or...
Yes, lie to me. I don't want to be out here looking stupid. I don't want, look at this. We done all slutted this girl out. And he's right there loving up on her. I just don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be embarrassed in that type of manner.
So you rather not know. Well, what if it happens and you don't know? Like, if you...
It's gonna be.
You don't know, won't kill you.
Yeah, it's a cruel world.
I'd like to think I'd rather know about this so I can make a decision.
That decision has been made. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it depends on the circumstance. Like, stuff in high school, everybody's friends, everybody's cool, we all know each other. And let's say years, later, you know what I'm saying?
It can be in kindergarten. We kissed the same girl in kindergarten. And then we in our 40s. You kissed my girl in kindergarten.
So even if they went on a date, like a friendly date.
A date is fine. If it's something like sex, anything intimate, a date, it didn't work.
I don't know. We cuddled platonically. How about that?
Cuddling is intimate to me.
Okay, fair.
So nothing intimate. It got to be like. I might even have a problem with her dapping them up. But that's just me.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not insecure or nothing. It's just I have my preference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would bother me too much. That's the past.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll bother me neither. It just depends, what I mean?
Are you talking to him now, or are you talking to them now?
Yeah.
Well,
I think it all depends on how it's addressed. You know. That's what I think it is. How it's addressed, and what we gonna do next? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna like, you got to get the hell up out of here.
Oh my god.
That's that.
Because I know for a fact, I've been in situations where, like, let's say I'm dating somebody and we sitting there looking and I'm just like, oh yeah, I smashed her, I smashed her.
Would you tell your friend? Say, yeah.
I told somebody recently, we were sitting in my house and we just happened to be on Instagram looking at mutual friends. And she like, do you know any of these people? I was like, yeah. Fucked her.
Did you tell her?
Yeah, I did. I said her. I've dated her. I've kissed her. I'm like, I probably went through like half our mutual friends. Like, I've been with them. And she thought that shit was hilarious,
But say like a guy friend. Say.
And some of my mutual followers that we had, I mean, she, knew some of those people, and she did something with some of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like in the past.
Did it bother you?
It didn't bother me, but it never got to anything serious.
She didn't get into detail about the escapades.
Escapades.
Sescapades. That better?
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, I've been in that situation.
It's a cruel world. It's actually a small world.
Yeah, understandable.
That's what I was saying, depending on how long ago.
Yeah.
It's like this area.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went to school in this area, chances are, people have dated people's friends, people's cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Lord, that's a hardcore email. Whew.
Yeah, that, I don't know, like, it wouldn't bother me, but Jesus, ghost, but it's like, well, I'm concerned about, like, he just ghosted her.
I mean, I'm kind of with him. I'd probably ghost her as well.
That's not a cool.
Even though it's not her fault, it's
I
wrong.
Ghost her.
I'd ghost her. That's just me.
You both would just ghost her.
I wouldn't ghost her,
Oh.
but if we got further, and let's say for some reason we end up getting married, my best friend or that dude, he not coming to the wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just gonna have to sit down.
Say I find out on the wedding, I'm ghosting her during the service.
God damn.
Like, let's say if I was dating somebody and me and her end up getting married, and then I find out later that I'm like, look, dog, you're not coming to the marriage.
I'm coming to the wedding and I'm gonna stop it forever. Hold your peace. I love her.
No, bro, you're not coming.
That's me. I hit it first.
Oh my god. Just play that Ray J song on
Cynthia. What about us?
Yeah. I like to think that. I mean, that's not a deal breaker to me. That's like
That's not a deal breaker.
No, then again, I've never been in that situation.
You're crazy.
That's like, okay, so it's like, I don't know. Like, to be fair, I don't have many friends, so it's like.
Personally, I've kind of been in that situation.
How'd that feel?
I had a guy friend hook me up with a girl.
Ooh.
And then, so, I hooked up with the girl. And then I asked him out of curiosity. I said, did you hook up with her? He like, yeah. I'm like, why would you hook me up with her? He like, I figured, why not? I said, now I can't take this girl serious. Like, she was with you and me. And then she was with, like, another friend. So she ran through a good 4 of us. And I'm not going to be the idiot out here looking like I'm wifing the girl up that ran through,
what if you
4 or 5 of us.
But what if you liked her?
I actually did like her.
What if you wanted to be? Did you like? Was she wifey material? Or did you like you felt?
It's like all that wifey material stuff goes out the window once you find out.
Are you sure? Like,
Yes, to me, you call it shallow or whatever. That to me, that goes out the window.
It's kind of shit. It's kind of petty. Like, come on, man. Like, you like this girl. Doesn't matter whatever.
You turn them feelings off. You gotta hit her with I catch flights, not feelings. Something like that. But
So speaking also like of questions, some good questions that you can ask like on the first date besides have you had sex with my best friend? You can sit there and ask things maybe like what's some movies that you really enjoy? What type of drinks do you like?
Yeah.
Like alcohol, non-alcohol? What are you obsessed with these days?
But
Where have you traveled? You know, to break the ice. You
but
know.
the question I feel like you got to ask nowadays: were you born a woman?
Oh yeah,
Have you always been a woman,
I
or
asked that on online dating.
exactly?
Yeah.
Because the way that these surgeons, if everything's set up, like you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
It's good.
Well, I mean, you should. I mean, most in the sense of like, good, they can pass, and like, you won't even care. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Mm.
If it was the best, I don't know, what if? Oh God, what sex metaphor you want? Brain. Let's go with brain. It was the best brain you ever had, but you find out later that it was like
A man?
no, that they used to be a man, and now
You want the truth? You want my?
yes.
They got to die.
What?
That's
Really?
That's lying.
Okay.
Stuff like that. People get murdered. Like, say you hook up with somebody and they don't tell you that they used to be a man, and then they get serious and all that.
Okay.
People get killed for stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. Let's
Let's
not threaten murder, but yeah.
I'm just saying, you let me know off the break before anything.
But it's like, here's the thing. People die before that. Like like if you're trans and you let someone know, then you're like, it's like now it's like is this person going to kill me because I used to be trans because I'm trans?
They gonna die if they didn't inform you before you guys got sexual.
Okay, but what if it was like the best thing you've ever had?
Then they still got to die.
But you're thinking about. Let me tell you, what if it's like that got us the sex stuff? Like it was amazing.
I don't care. That stuff goes out the window. You turn them feelings off.
All right. How about you, King D?
So something like that can go a lot of different directions. If I was dating somebody, I mean, like I said, I always, especially online, I always ask at any point in time in your life, were you a man? Because I just need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And no one has ever said yes. So I've never had to deal with that. But if someone did say yes, honestly, I don't know how I would respond to that. But let's say if I was dating someone and then they told me later.
Yeah.
Once again, like, I would feel really upset. I'd be mad. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would respond to the situation, but like, I mean, I probably wouldn't be kicking myself, and, going through like the motions, like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Because what I saw when I met her was a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I saw her as. Now, if she, let's say, we meet online and then she just come out and be like, look, I'm trans, I used to be a dude. What's up?
What's up?
I might just be like, I'm not into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if she dropped dead gorgeous and I'm sitting there, talking to her and she, tells me that, I might just be like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
But if we out somewhere in public and I meet somebody and let's say we at the bar, I'm spitting game, exchanging numbers, I built a connection with you, got to know you, and then somewhere down the line you tell me, like, I probably wouldn't be mad and stuff, but I would just be upset and be like, that's something that you should probably tell people in the beginning. You know what I mean? And then what happens from there, I don't know, because I've never been in that situation.
Okay, fair.
You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like I'm getting angry.
Relax, man. It's a hypothetical question. Oh my God, relax.
Imagine if that happened.
But it didn't.
It didn't.
It probably won't happen to you. Relax, balls.
It's never happened to me as far as dating, but I've met people who I thought was a woman.
No, who were women who used to be men. You use the correct terminology.
No. I'm saying like I thought was like
I get what you're saying.
yeah, like who I thought was straight up woman, and like let's say when I was doing Lyft, right, the first time that ever happened, I want to say I was in a McDonald's parking lot, and I picked somebody up in Forestville at a bar. So she's sitting there telling me like, dudes be feeling like that I'm like tricking them, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third, and I had no clue what she was talking about. So I'm like, okay, miss, what do you want from McDonald's? She's telling me her order, and then she was like, blah blah blah. I used to be a man, and I'm sitting there trying to order her food, and she says that, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck you just say? And she was like, I used to be a man. So I look in my rearview mirror, and I was just like, you lying. Because, I mean, to me, she long hair, smelled good, had heels on.
Look like a woman, right?
Nails, painted. Looked like a straight up woman. And I just told her, I said, I ain't believe you. And she told me everything. And I was just like, wow. And I was like, yeah, you should definitely tell guys that up front. But she was like, how do I tell guys?
Yeah, how do you tell them without getting murdered? Because this one's over here already upset. Like, just thinking
I'm
about
mad now.
What I told her, I said, you just got to be transparent. Like, if you at the bar and you talking to a guy, I said, the sooner you let him know, the better.
Okay, but here's the thing. What if that man's like, gets so upset and just follows her out that bar and kills her?
Okay, you're getting hardcore.
I'm just saying, like, we have to think about that perspective.
Because it does happen.
It happens very often.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm talking like I'd kill somebody. I'm not going to kill nobody. I'm a softie.
Sure.
I need a, what's it called? Not an alimony. What's it called?
Alibi.
Alibi, that's it.
Goodness
This is
me.
my alibi.
You remember when I told you about that time when I had picked up like a girl in Baltimore? And once again, it was for Lyft. Taking them to McDonald's and I think Wendy's. And she couldn't speak English. So she's handing me her cell phone to communicate because she didn't speak English. I'm sending mine back, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying to her, I said, after we out the drive-thru, I'm just like, so do you have kids? And she was like, well, I can't have kids. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she texts in her phone, because I'm trans. And I was just like, what? I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. And what she had said to me, after, taking the time to like communicate, taking to McDonald's to McDonald's and back, to her destination, she was just like, thank you for being kind to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was confused. I'm like, you don't have to thank me for being kind to you. I'm like, are people usually mean to you? She was like, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
I
that's
felt
a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. And she was like, she was like, if I wanted to request you for, a lift again, how would I do it? So, I gave her my number. And there was a couple times while she was in town where she called me, to take her somewhere because she felt safe. You know what I mean?
That's like you get a good thing, man.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, when her friends came with her, now it was 3 of them.
When you say them, you meant like trans.
Yeah, they turned out to be escorts.
Oh.
They were escorts.
Yeah, and the way I found that out, one of them was on the phone, and she was talking about roses, like donations, all that stuff. And I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe all of this is going on in my
You
car.
done got yourself in a situation.
Did you collect some kickback, bro? Like,
Huh?
I'm just saying, like you, if they in your car doing extra,
like you they pimp.
Nah.
You big daddy.
But what was funny, it was hilarious. I admit it. The one that I picked up initially, like I guess her and her friends, they was all drunk and blah blah blah. They wanted somebody who would transport them safely. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
They paid me everything, so I, my services were, rendered. So when I'm sitting up in the front seat, they drinking, blah blah blah. She flashes me, and I'm just like, oh my god! I'm like, put those back.
Yes, put those back.
Like shows me her tits, and I'm like screaming, like, oh my god! Like put them away.
I love how honest you are, because like
So my question is, were they like man tits, or were they like?
They were real. They were like breasts, like real breasts.
Like she got work done.
I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, man, estrogen is a hell of a drug.
Estrogen.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
I don't know how
the most hysterical thing
like
ever.
that. You say historical?
Hysterical.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're better than me. I don't know how I'd react.
I mean, I react like how you react. Like, look, ma'am, we are in a moving vehicle. I am trying to do not distract me.
Yeah.
Let us park first.
That's too much of a bombshell to just drop on somebody just like that, especially while you're driving. Like I don't flip this motherfucker over.
But I mean, you'll be surprised though. Like just doing Lyft and Uber. I mean, I've met it all. I've met them all. Like man, woman, trans, young, old, blind, deaf, handicapped, handicapable. I've met it all.
Handicapable.
Oh, yes.
So you dealt with all walks of life for real.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we've gotten away from the topic.
Did we?
Yeah.
We didn't answer her question.
Oh yeah, marriage
I think
perspective.
we did, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we did, but it's like we start talking about other stuff.
But this is all, still
It all
part
ties
of
in.
Yeah,
to the
nice.
first, in the first 30 days, it's important to ask questions to get to know who you dating.
The first 30 minutes, not even 30 days,
And personally, it's always, you talk about like, not wanting to show your first impression, but it's always important to be, in my opinion, to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
Vulnerable?
Yeah, vulnerable. Like, show them.
You're not going to know nothing about me.
Oh my God.
You're not going to know, like, my deepest. You're not going to know, like, what type of books I like to read. I feel like that's too personal. If I meet somebody, I'm
That's
not
how
going
you build conversation.
I'm not going to tell them my genres or nothing. I don't know. I just don't. I'm kind of hard to open up to.
I see.
But once I open up to you, I'm a revolving door. Like, you know everything about me.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to pull some teeth first.
Yeah. I mean, you want to keep that first couple dates, just kind of chill to where you get to know the person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, vulnerability is cool, but I get you what you mean. You don't want to, like, just, so, you've been in prison?
Yeah, you don't want to ask too many questions because then he or she is going to feel like they're being interrogated. So, you don't want, you don't want to go too into questions.
So, how's your tax score? What your taxes looking like?
So you don't ask them type of questions.
What's your credit score?
Because then they think you got intentions.
Yeah.
So,
And definitely don't talk about your exes. The first couple dates, nobody likes that shit.
Yeah, especially
if you talk about your ex a lot on the first couple dates.
That obviously you still got
it's
feelings
or
like
you're not over them.
Yeah, you still.
You can bring it up maybe first, after the first month.
Maybe if it's a coincidence that it happened to,
or maybe never bring that up. Like,
don't bring it.
You want to bring it up at some point because that's when you bring up your exes. Like, let's say after y'all been on a couple dates, when you bring up your exes, right, and you telling the person you're on the date with what you didn't like about what your ex did, you're actually teaching them what you like and value and what you're gonna accept and what you're not gonna accept. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, easy enough.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you was dating somebody and let's say you be like, yeah, me and my ex used to go out. She was always on her cell phone. You telling that person like, okay, boom. He don't like going out on a date where a woman's on her cell phone the whole time. So, the woman might keep that joint out of sight. You know what I mean?
Or you can just, like, have that conversation without bringing up the ex? Like, why
Yeah.
you gotta be, why you gotta, oh, like just sneak dissing about it?
No, it's not sneak
Like,
dissing.
oh yeah, my old
No.
bitch like used to have be on the phone all the time.
No,
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
No. But you know, your ex is a part of your past.
Yeah.
And as you're talking about, you know, who you are and, you know, things that you want out of life, you're talking about your past, you know, so the person can learn about your past. You know what I mean?
Personally, I don't bring up no exes to another unless it's like...
Unless they ex?
Yeah, if they ask, I still don't give too much. Because, you know, it's kind of like personal. You don't want to...
I mean, at some point you gotta have to tell them.
Yeah, you can tell them, but you don't have to go into, like, detail. Because, like, somebody asks, well, was she better than me in bed and stuff like that? You know.
Like that,
yeah, you don't want to answer stuff like that.
Hell yeah. Level up.
Level up.
She used to love when I spit in her mouth.
All right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm saying, you looking kind of like it right now. I got a number on speed dial. What you about to do right now? Impress me.
You guys ever run into, like, say you with your new woman, and then you run into the ex? That ever happened to y'all before?
Nope. I only dated one person before, so.
I don't think that happened directly, but I did have my ex and somebody I was dating in the same car. I think I don't know.
You had somebody in the trunk?
Yeah, I can't remember if my car had broke down or if my car got stolen. I can't remember, but I had called my ex to come pick me up, and along with that, the person I was dating was with me because she didn't have a car.
Did she know? Did you tell that person, like, hey, I have my current girlfriend with me. Can you come pick me up?
Nah, I introduced them to each other once we got in the car.
Blindsided her.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
Some real big dick energy right there.
He's a cold
bastard.
bastard.
I was like, hey, yo, this is my girl. This is my ex.
Oh.
And you just like, communicate with yourselves.
Yeah, she took me to work.
Oh.
Yeah.
How was that conversation afterwards?
It was awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised nobody said shit to each other.
Yeah,
Next thing you know, they fist fight in the back seat.
I'm just picturing you like you oblivious to this shit. Like you just walking out and you on your phone, and they just like kind of just look at each other every now and then, looking at you like,
it was
for
definitely
real?
awkward. Yeah.
Motherfucker for real? What the
Well, I was at a grocery store, and I was with my girlfriend at the time. And then I ran into the person I dated right before her. And I was trying not to make it, like, awkward. I was going to act like I didn't know her. But she kind of bumped into me. And was like, oh, excuse me. And, like, you know, being kind of extra. And I didn't say anything to my current girlfriend at the time. Eventually, I told her, I said, I used to kind of date her. That's like one of my exes. And she was trying to make it, I don't know what she was trying to do, but I didn't like that. Like, I don't know if she's trying to catch me up or, not that I was cheating on her, but don't do that. Don't make it awkward. Just.
So your current girlfriend made it awkward, or?
No, the ex. She could have just did the simple, the head nod. Do something like that.
Yes.
Don't bump into me and dropping stuff all in front of me, like, creating a scene.
Well, maybe she got flustered seeing you.
No, she knew what she was doing.
Okay.
People do stuff like that.
Was she that kind of person?
She was kind of over the top.
Okay.
So, I'm not surprised,
Is it? Is it anyone I know? I'm vaguely curious now. You don't have to tell me now. Tell me later.
Yes.
That's Bromance after dark.
You gotta pay for the premium.
Yes, subscribe to our Patreon Bromance on
Cash App in the bio.
I did have like another situation like that though. Sitting here thinking about it. I was in high school, and the girl I was dating, her birthday, she invited me over, but she didn't tell me who else was coming.
Oh, they set you up.
Well, I don't think she knew. So she invites me over. I get over there, right? My ex before her was there,
Mm-hmm.
and my ex before that ex was there. And the way that this happened, her friend that lived like in that neighborhood brought her cousin with her. So the cousin was, who I dated.
Yeah.
And then it just so happened the girl who I was dating, her friend, invites her friend, and that was somebody I dated.
Oh,
so I'm sitting there. I lied to you.
Sloppy.
I lied to you now. We sitting there playing spades, right?
And
I'm just sitting there saying to myself, like, I used to sleep with her, dated her, but never slept with her. And me and her together now, and we ain't never slept
all
with
at the
each
same
other.
space
all
table.
All at the same space. And that was so awkward, bro.
Did you like, I got to go?
Nah, like, I thought they had set me up, but then I was like, she wouldn't know because she just don't know that I dated them. You know what I'm saying? But that's how, because we all went to like the same schools in the same area.
Yeah.
It's like, who wasn't dating somebody that you knew? You know what I mean?
Well, actually, I have a story about a friend this happened to. One of my female friends. She was at a restaurant. Well, I guess we could say the name of the restaurant. We can say Jasper's. She was at Jasper's. And she was dating this guy currently. Then the guy she's cheating on, I guess they call it the sneaky link, was at the restaurant as well. So they didn't see her. She called me. She went in the bathroom and called me. She said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to pick me up right now.
Oh my God.
So I was like, why? What happened? She said, I'll tell you when I get in the car. So I picked her up. And then she told me, like, my boyfriend, I'm in there with my boyfriend, and the guy I'm cheating with is in there as well. And I was like, what did you tell them to leave? She said, I had a family emergency, and I just left. I said, oh. So I feel like that would have got ugly. Like, guys, when stuff like that happen, violence comes out, guns, and, Jaspers would have got shot up.
That's awful.
It is. But that's life.
It shouldn't have to be this way.
It shouldn't. But here we are.
God.
Guns is out. Now we've gone to blows.
So yes, I don't know. We can do some relationship right. Don't cheat.
Yeah.
Cheating seems to almost never work out for anyone.
You will always get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depends, but I mean, it all comes around.
I mean, it's not a good. I mean, this is some poor relationship ethics if you're cheating. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be nice to the person you're with.
I've gotten caught every time I've cheated.
Of course you have.
Yeah. So
Real. Every single time?
Sneakier, bro.
every time. So now I just, you know what? It's not even worth it because I'm going to get caught.
Yes, you would have learned the hard way.
And then I don't think I'm a good liar.
No.
So, but I'd rather deal with someone that's a bad liar than a good liar.
Yeah, I feel like we all been cheated on at some point.
Speak for yourselves, man.
You just don't know it yet.
Yeah, sure.
Well, here's the crazy thing: as you get older and you start like dating more, it's gonna happen. Like man or woman, we've all been.
It's like a part of life.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be, sometimes it's not always physical, it's probably emotional.
And a lot of times when people do cheat, they don't ever tell their partner. It always comes up. Like, I've never, for anybody that's ever cheated on me, they never been like, I got a confession to make, I cheated on you. Always caught them.
Yeah, so you got to catch them. You got to do some digging.
Yeah. And same, with me, if somebody caught me, I didn't just come out and be like, yeah, I did this. They looking at my bank account. They were like, what was $140 charge for the Red Roof Inn for? I'm like, oh, that's what me and my homies like to drink at.
But you got footage right here. Matter of fact, I'm at the Red Roof Inn, and I got the security footage right here. Who is this bitch?
So it happens.
Nice.
Well,
Now, would you cover for your boy if they got caught in a situation like that?
you always got to cover.
It's like,
Even if you don't know what's going on, you're going to cover.
Oh, you with me right now.
Exactly. You always cover. Bros before hoes.
I remember somebody I was dating. She thought I was out with like another girl.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm about to go to my man house. I said, I'm just picking up ice cream and, stuff like that. I said, I'm about to go to my man house. She was like, so you going over your man's house with ice cream and iced tea or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I really about to, I think I'm about to just come over here.
Yeah, so you was coming over here.
So I wasn't even cheap, but I still lied
You
to
just
her.
stirring the pot.
God damn. Oh, yeah, I gotta
You
make
just
things...
wanted a reaction out of her. That's all that is.
I'm getting bored. Gotta make things exciting every now and then.
I thought she was going to show up here.
And of course, the other dude, he ain't like that I used his name.
To this day, he still bring it up.
Nice.
But no, you gotta cover for your man.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
It's a guy code.
Yeah.
Because women definitely cover for each other.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm be like, I'm coming for you, but it's like, the whole time I'm like, you a dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, you going to let them know about themselves.
I was like, nigga, you gonna get caught eventually. Yep.
Yeah.
This is a one-time thing.
Everybody gets caught.
And then I do it, and I help out more because I'm a dumbass too. I'm like,
Yeah. You're an accomplice.
yeah. It's getting kind of late, boys.
Yeah, so, that was the,
Relationship podcast about, and I responded to an email.
yes.
But you got a prospective
Okay.
anonymous emailer.
Yeah. Well, I hope it works out for you. Well,
I'm sure it will.
don't sleep with his friends. That's
I mean, like, honestly, the takeaway is, like, it wasn't going to work out if it was going to work out. So, okay. But, there's plenty of fiction to see. Be happy. Live your own life.
Yeah.
Be unbothered.
Moral of the story, don't rush anything. Let things happen naturally. Take your time.
Yeah.
This is not a race.
I mean, I guess. Do what makes you... I guess so. I don't know. I'm of the opinion that, there's nothing wrong with that.
It might be safe to check their Instagram just to make sure y'all don't have no more mutual followers that y'all have exchanged body fluids with.
Oh, that guy's gone. Like, he ghosted
Yeah, he's
her.
gone.
He deleted her number. He's like, who this?
Okay. Well, guys, that wraps up Bromance on Deck. This is JB.
And I'm King D.
And I'm LB.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.